have no idea if my camera actually got that. Oh, here he comes. Slow down, honey, so we can see him. That is a mud fest. Irish cloverleaf. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. So here we are. We are on Camelback, driving through Phoenix on our way to do a little shopping. So I thought that we would do our interview here with Kevin for his 4th day of the Werner orientation, which apparently is also his last day. So, Kevin. Oh, and look at the nice hat that you're wearing. How was your orientation today?
It was pretty quiet, very calm, a little short, a little very informative. Learned a lot of stuff today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
We still had some modules to go through with the instructor, and we got one more shot on the simulator for backing exercise. So that was very interesting on the simulator, where you can't see behind you and your mirrors aren't showing you a lot. And every time I want to get out and look, I have to get out of the simulator and go over and look at his computer.
Okay, but did you hit any bridges today?
Nope, didn't hit any bridges.
Yay!
I took a very cautious approach because it's hard to see the distances in 2 dimensions on the screens. And then it was in a very crowded, confined space. I had to park between 2 trailers. I could only pull up so far, and then I would have hit other vehicles and tried to work it back. It turned out all right, but it took a lot of thinking, a lot of getting out and checking things, but that worked. So everybody got a crack on the simulator, and then there were his lessons, and the one thing he wanted to do was get us on the lesson about the tablet that we use. It used to be called a Qualcomm, and that's what they use for communicating with the drivers in the trucks. So it's like a tablet device, and it has your job, the load you're taking, where it goes and everything, and ways for you to communicate with the office and texting back and forth. But the new one is lighter and thinner. It's a little smaller, and it's a Samsung tablet, and so it's a lot like operating a tablet you'd have at home.
Okay, so familiarity, nothing actually totally weird and different.
And it's easier to go through the menus and pick and do what you want, put in information, and it also has called the Copilot, which is a map software.
Copilot? Wait a second, that's my job. I'm the Copilot.
But it's like Google Maps, so you punch in your destination, and it knows you're in a truck. It has the dimensions of the truck, so it won't take you under a low bridge or something. And then you can plan your route.
Except you're supposed to still also look at your atlas, right?
Yeah, you look at the atlas.
Trust it 100%.
It'll show, the atlas will show you scales. It'll show you different rest stops. It'll show you a lot of other things. Your trip planning is still an important thing. But this thing will sit on the dashboard, and it's plugged into the truck, and it's connected to the truck through a Wi-Fi connection, and the truck has a cell data system, so it will send your reports to the office. You'll receive messages. You can send messages. There's pre-written messages like help or I need gas or whatever. But it's sitting there in front of you on the dash, and that is your navigation. So you don't have to go buy the trucker's Garmin GPS for $300 and put that on the dash as well. This is all in one thing. That's really good.
That's great. That's great. Okay,
so
that's good to know.
To get to that lesson, though, he had to be sure that we had all done the lesson on the computers ourselves, dealing with that, and a couple of guys hadn't yet. So while waiting for those guys to finish that, we went through a couple other lessons and talked about some things. And he was telling a lot of stories and finished up all his modules. And in between, we'd be going over to the simulator and doing our.
So what other kind of lessons did he have for you today?
I can't remember right now. I'd have to have the menu in front of me. Sorry.
Because you've already absorbed it. It's just part of you already.
And
so
it was
you can't separately think of it as a lesson anymore. It's just who you are now.
It was all about anticipating this tablet lesson. And we were kind of building up to it all day, waiting for these guys to finish their work so that we could do it. And every hour he'd go, are you guys done that yet? Oh, no, not yet. I'm just.
Oh.
And after like the second time he asked, he looked and he's like, what are you doing on that lesson? That's not the one I want you to finish. You finish the one about the tablet so we can do the class on the tablet. Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so it took a while. And I took the time to talk to some of the guys, you know, because some of the time we were just sitting there waiting. So we were having a few chats. You know, everybody's from all over the place, so there's
Right,
a lot of cool
and
stuff.
you actually, I think the first time we did this orientation interview series, you had mentioned where the people were from, but there's actually a guy who's been in the U.S. a year now, you said, right?
He came
and
from,
he's from the Ukraine?
Ukraine. He brought his wife and son over. They've been here a couple of years.
Wow.
And he's actually a graphic artist, freelance. I got his website.
Okay.
Actually, I got everybody's phone numbers, so I sent a few texts so that they
wow,
knew who I am, and I
Kevin.
want to check in with them
That's
in
awesome.
a few weeks and see where we all wound up. you know?
Yeah. That's nice.
That'll be
Little
interesting.
follow-up, keep
Yeah.
in touch, networking.
Yeah.
Very good. That's a good thing to do, people.
Well, the instructor was telling us the story. He went through training with this guy, and they became really good friends. But they didn't check up on each other a whole bunch. But every now and then there'd be a phone call. So one day he's driving down the road, the phone rings, and he's talking to his buddy. And they're
Hands-free, of course.
They're just yakking on their hands-free mobile devices. And,
Yep.
and his buddy says, "Man, it's cold here, you know." And he's like, "Yeah, it's really cold here too." And then he's like talking a little bit more, and all of a sudden they see each other passing, you know, in opposite directions. And like, oh my god,
Wow.
crazy stuff. And that's when I thought I'd like to get their phone numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you might meet them in a truck stop in a year or two, and you go, "Oh yeah."
Well,
Where you
that's
been?
happened to us just driving in the RV in the car.
Yeah,
Right?
We learned a lot of stuff driving in the RV that's going to apply to this, like, you know, places to spend the night and things to do while you're on the road and things not to do, and be aware of your, you know, how long your vehicle is and lane changing and
Right.
overhead clearances, and a lot of that's going to come in handy.
And then
now.
the whole continental socializing.
Yeah, and running into people in different places that you know from other places, and
Yeah.
how everything seems to come around and
Yeah,
reconnect. So
that's
it's
pretty
good.
cool.
It's good to stay in touch with people and find out where they are and what they're up to, and it's all about learning too. You know, like I graduated last week from truck driving school, and now I've graduated from an orientation course. And I get the feeling I don't know a freaking thing. So I got a lot to learn, and the more I can absorb from other people, the better, I think. You know.
Yeah.
So.
But you're also very humble, so you know you do know some things. I am sure.
Yeah, the instructor seems to think that we were all pretty capable, and you know we're gonna do good. And all I said was, I don't think I know a damn thing. And he says, good, you don't. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to stay humble. It's good to stay open to learning. That's the thing. And you're always going to learn. I mean, this is such a vast industry.
Sure.
And it's, you know, there's so many different types of terrains and weather situations and places where you're going to deliver. I mean, there's so many nuances to this whole thing. And just in general, in life, you should never think there's nothing left to learn.
No.
Right? Because as soon as you close your mind because you feel like that's it, I've learned it all, you become a closed-minded person, and your world's actually going to start getting smaller. And so stay open to learning, stay open to growing. That's kind of, from my perspective, that's the whole purpose of living, is to keep learning, keep growing. So stay curious, stay interested. Don't just say, oh, I know everything and whatever. So Kevin is modeling that very nicely here for us. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Such a good role model. Okay, so what else? I know the other night you were watching a lot of lessons on like lot lizards. So for those of you who don't know what lot lizards are, those would be, I guess, generally women, but who knows? Might also be some males that come and knock on your door of the truck looking to provide you with sexual services, usually at night. So they had a whole little series on that. And also the part I watched with Kevin, I thought it was pretty interesting. I'll actually move this over here since I'm doing the talking. It was interesting because they also, you know, really laid bare sort of that whole situation, and that it's a lot of underage girls, a lot of human trafficking. So they've actually, you know, got this whole movement of truckers who are keeping their eyes out for these types of things. And so truckers are making a difference in trying to prevent those types of tragedies here you know, in the US. Because apparently there's more of that happening than, you know, people who are not in that industry or not aware of that I mean, I never really thought about that, but apparently it's a big thing. So Kevin had several lessons on that, right? So that truckers have that awareness.
Truckers Against Trafficking.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
You
organization.
get a little card and a number to call if you see something like that.
Yeah, and we've seen some videos online
Yeah.
that had some pretty shocking stories to tell on things like that. Okay, so what else? Anything else interesting?
Well, part of the tutorial on the tablet, it's called the Edge Connect. Going through the different windows on that, you're learning about how you get your loads. You learn about your loads, how you execute the loads, how you report what you're doing. So that was pretty important to learn. And I will not get a tablet until I get my own truck, but I will be using my trainer's tablet.
Right.
And I will get a fuel card, so I will put fuel in my trainer's truck, and that card stays with me and goes in my truck.
And that way you get to accumulate points so you can have a shower?
No, that's using the company's credit to buy your fuel. Then
Right.
you get another card for the different truck stop chains like Love's and Flying J and TA. So each time you fill your truck with the company card, you swipe your personal
Oh, it goes on
card,
two
and
different
that's where your
cards.
points go. So every 60 gallons you buy, you get a free shower. Now, if I'm putting 300 gallons in my truck,
Is that how much they hold?
some will hold 200 gallons.
Wow.
Some will hold 300.
Oh my God, showers for everybody!
Showers and showers, and you can save up the points or the bucks and buy merchandise
Wow,
too.
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah. I
all.
think we
That's
were
all a
talking about
separate
that.
bonus system
Okay, that's pretty neat.
from the truck stops. Yes.
Okay, and then why don't you tell us what you learned today, because you graduated today from your orientation. So now basically, as far as I understand it, you are on call.
The drug tests that they took on Thursday, the results haven't come back yet. So not officially on call. I'm to phone in tomorrow morning and ask if the results have come back. And as soon as they come back, I go in and do my final paperwork, sign a couple things, get my fuel card, and then I will be on call. So at that point, they will start looking for a leader for me to go on the road with. And if he happens to be there, I'll be on the road like right away. But chances are they'll have to find somebody, and you know, he might be rolling through town in a day or two, and then I'll just get on board. Or they might find somebody and put me on a bus to go meet him somewhere. You know, it all depends on who they find and where he is and where he's headed. Hopefully it'll be
But it
simple.
could happen very soon.
Could happen tomorrow morning. So
Wow.
we gotta buy a few things and pack a bag and be ready to go whenever the phone rings.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
let's make a separate video on that in terms of what you're gonna actually bring along to go with your trainer. So then we will conclude this video about your last day of orientation. Originally we thought it'd be about 5 days, but they sped things up and there were only 6 of you, so I guess they were able to get it done quickly.
Yep.
So congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you.
Proud of you. What a guy. So that's it? Anything else? Did you cover it all? Oh, what's that?
Here's the company badge.
Oh, wow.
With a really awful picture
Yeah,
of me.
not great. Nope.
And it's got lots
kinda
of
looks-
handy
yeah.
phone numbers on the
You know
back.
what it looks like?
For me to
It
call.
kind of looks like those doggy pictures with the big snout.
Yeah, where you take the picture of the dog and his nose
Yeah.
is right up against the camera. Yeah, that
I was
was.
like, did they take that with a fisheye?
No, he just had the camera about this close to me when he took the picture. I couldn't understand why.
Yeah, that picture does not do you justice, honey.
Oh, well, I won't show that to anyone.
Yeah, good idea.
Not like my Amazon picture. That was cool.
Oh, yeah?
Looked good in that one.
Yeah, he looked pretty hunky. Though we just learned using the word hunk apparently is considered inappropriate. It was on the list of terms that could be considered sexual harassment.
Yeah,
I hope in
don't-
our relationship I can still call you a hunk.
Don't call me that, baby.
Oh,
Chicky girl poo.
oh my God.
Other thing I did today,
Oh.
because I went to
Hey, here's a bonus.
I went to Florida and got my license switched from Arizona to Florida. Then when I got back here, the next day I started orientation, they sent us for a medical, even though I had a medical in Arizona, and that's the card that I used in Florida to prove I had a Department of Transport medical. Now, Thursday, I get another medical here in Arizona. It supersedes the one that I had before, which I had registered in Florida as my medical. So what I had
boy.
to do today was register my newest medical in Florida, because that's where my license is. And instead of getting on a plane and flying back there to show them a piece of paper, I was able to do it online.
Oh, thank God.
Taking a picture of it, and I have like a login and everything with the Florida
thank
motor
goodness.
vehicles. So I was able to do it. But yeah, that
wow.
could have been very complicated.
Yeah.
I got through it in about 10 minutes.
Okay, that's better than, we had to spend 5 hours to get him his actual, we had to fly to Florida during the pandemic, double masking, a little stressed about being elbow to elbow because they don't keep the middle seats free, so it was a little stressful. And then it took us 5 hours to actually get his Arizona CDL put over to a Florida CDL because they don't acknowledge the hazmat from Arizona in Florida. So he was lucky enough, they were kind enough to let him take the test on the spot, which he did, passed with flying colors. Then it turned out they needed a new background check. And for that, they wanted a very specific date of when Kevin got naturalized.
Yeah.
And it took us about 2 hours to find that date because nobody has ever asked that, and it's like in storage in Florida. So it was kind of a big drama, but we got it done just to get back here and then be told, oh, here's your new medical card. So I'm very glad we didn't have to fly back to Florida again. So that's good news. 10 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay, that was the bonus. So now, at some point, everything will be correct with Florida. But
Right.
we are going to drive out of here for a little while because we want to see the West Coast.
That's right.
That's right. All right. Well, with that, we're going to go shopping. And look, we could be together in our goodbye with love from Kevin and Tanya. Wait! We forgot. See? New routine. That's right. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and learned something. Or questions below, comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, press the subscribe button. Bye.